All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Ticker Highlight Show. I am Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. I am joined by Alicia J. Leslie, the Queen of the Candles. Good to see you, Alicia. Hope you had a good long weekend. And of course, the Viking of volatility, the uh, the clamor of call spreads.
I am here, but I'm updating trading desk stuff. So I'm here, but hello everybody. But I want to get
He's
these
here and
updates
he's
out.
fantastic. And today we're here to talk about markets and what's going on and what we're looking at. Let's give just a real brief update on what we were looking at last week. I think we had a couple interesting ideas. One second. Why am I on OP Live? Last week we looked at NVIDIA, and obviously we didn't do a trade, but you can see what NVIDIA did. It has, we kind of analyzed everything and told you guys, hey, look for this thing to move less than what the market is expecting. And lo and behold, it moved less than what the market is expecting. Now that kind of August is over, end of the month window dressing, what do we see? NVIDIA, kind of all the Mag 7 starting to kind of break out, just not breaking out in the right way. Which is why today we're talking about nothing that has to do with the Magnificent Seven. We're talking about what we consider. We're going to start calling these some opportunities, some long-term opportunities. And today's stock that we're looking at that is, I believe, a really good long-term opportunity is Portillos. And obviously, this is near and dear to Leisha and my's heart, and Andrew's. Andrew's kind of a de facto Chicago guy, having lived there for, how long did you live in Chicago? Good 7 years, right? Yeah. And then, Leisha and I, of course, are born and raised.
Oh, 6 years, Mark.
Only raised.
Only raised in Chicago. Alicia was
I
born
was born
somewhere
in
else.
California.
Oh, that's right. That's
I
right.
forgot about
Were you in the
that.
Bay Area or San Diego?
San Rafael, Marin County.
Oh, okay. Yep. So Bay Area.
Well,
Okay.
I guess I'm technically born in the region of Indiana because I was born in Munster, Indiana. Yeah. There you go. Lauren just went, wait, Leisha was born in California?
Yeah.
But, you can't really, when you talk about Chicago food, people think pizza, they think deep dish. Leisha, me, and Leisha and I will tell you, we had deep dish maybe twice a year. What we normally had was the thin crust.
Actually, I sent Grant deep dish for his birthday.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
He's in Texas. I sent it for his birthday
it was like a special occasion thing.
because it's fattening as hell.
Yeah. We would do deep dish. What was that? Oh, yeah. We actually, on Friday, we went to one of the owners of Pequod's moved here, and we went to his place. And it's very Pequod-esque. It's called Lefty's Pizza Kitchen. If you're in the Austin area, it's probably the best pizza in the area. Not that that's saying much.
What's the name?
Lefty's Pizza Kitchen. If you're in the area. But, the other thing people think of is obviously hot dogs. They think maybe they don't think of things like Rico Benny's. I do. But the other one people think about is Italian beefs. They think about Al's. And of course, they think about Portillos. Portillos makes probably, in terms of fast food, if you want to call it fast food, it's the best fast food out there. The Italian beef, the hot dogs. Lauren from BigBlondeHair.com will tell you it is the single greatest fast food salad you will ever eat in your life. The chopped chicken salad. Yeah, she said even beyond fast food, it's better than most sit-down restaurant salads, frankly. The dressing is great. I'll take that over Olive Garden any day of the week. All right. And I think, Leisha, I don't know if you agree with Lauren on that one, Leisha, but it is a really darn good salad. They make, my favorite, of course, is the combo. If there was a way to make Italian beef worse for you, try putting an Italian sausage in it. And then wrapping that, and then you dip it in the jus, and then you throw some sweet peppers and some giardiniera on there, and you're a happy camper. Anyway, so we're looking at Portillos. And what I decided to do is look at some other names that have had some really wild growth, that have some big valuations. And I want to look at Wingstop, which I think is an interesting one, because that, that is a really, very niche type of menu, right? Wings. What else are you getting from Wingstop? Wings. And it is an $11 billion company. You've got what's the salad place that everybody loves right now? You know what, Lauren? What's that salad chain that everybody's eating at? Oh, it's Sava. No, it's Kava.
That's
you.
Mediterranean.
Oh, Kava Group. Oh, it's Mediterranean fast casual brand. So it's Mediterranean food. 13.4 billion. Look at the PE this thing is running. 315. Yeah. So they operate 309 fast food restaurants with a PE of 315. Wing has a lot of locations. Wing does about, call it 540 million in revenue. I was actually surprised by how little revenue Cava does. 845 million. Portillos actually does 702 million in revenue. So look at this. Wing does less revenue than Portillos. On that revenue, they made $94 million. Portillo's only makes 24, so they've got better margins. But Portillo's is operating about, they're only running 84 restaurants and producing 700 million in revenue. If they can expand at the right level and at the right speed, especially as a lot of people from Chicago and Indiana and Wisconsin and Iowa move to the Southwest or the Southeast, so Florida, Texas, Arizona. If they expand into those areas, there is going to be demand there. California, I think there's plenty of demand. I don't know that there'll ever be a Portillo's in Times Square. I think New Yorkers would scoff at it, frankly. And I can't imagine one in downtown Philadelphia. I just don't think that would fly. What do you think about that? Can you imagine if I tried to drop a Portillo's in the middle of, right next to Pat's Cheesesteaks in Philadelphia? Alicia, you think that would fly?
Probably not.
I don't think so.
They don't know what they're missing, though.
What's that?
Portillos.
Yeah, they're missing Portillos.
All right, I'm finally done with some updates. I was a little behind this morning. The market just all of a sudden,
yes,
fell
so
apart.
When I look at and Portillos with pretty on 88 stores is producing 23 million in net income, and they're only producing about 900. They're only worth $900 million. I think there is some real upside. If this can, and the PE is only 32, you see this thing get to just a little bit of PE expansion as they grow, and as they grow across. Like I said, I think there's real opportunity for them to grow in Arizona, in Texas. Yeah, they moved to. If they open 2 locations in
all
Austin,
over the Southwest, all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think there's an opportunity as people move north to nicer weather. You're going to have Midwestern people wanting their food. And that is going to be part of the reason why I think there's some real upside. Part of the reason why this might take a haircut is there's, I believe, a kind of a unique deal with Dick Portillo on some of the more profitable stores. And that could be part of the issue here. But frankly, it's an undervalued stock based on what we see out of, heck, it's not Darden. Darden actually has negative growth and is like sit down stuff. This area has real pressure. But in like this fast casual, I just don't see how Wing gets a 120 PE and Portillos gets a 30. Given given the difference there. Now, Wing, like I said, has higher margins. So I think Portillo's probably an upside. If they move that price earnings ratio up to about 50, you're looking at $20 there. And I think that's probably a spot where it's Portillo's is relatively fairly valued. On the long-term chart, I believe it has bottomed out. And I think it's worth kind of owning and taking a look at where they're going to go from here. I like it back over 20. I think it's a really interesting long-term play. Now with the charts, I pass things off to Alicia J.
Chots.
Well, Portillo's gave us a little head fake last week when I originally wrote about it. Trading in the box range. Are you seeing my screen?
Yeah, we are,
Yes.
Alicia.
Okay. Had a really nice box range, 1230, not 1240 to, just 12, just below 12. Really nice bullish day and looked like it was ready to break out, and the sellers came in. Now back trading into that box range. So watch these lows, 1190 for support. You may want to wait until it busts out of there to go long. But definitely looking bullish after this nice run after earnings. It has a good, like Mark said, a good amount to trade higher.
New low
Up
on the
here,
day.
14. What?
Sorry, Alicia. New low on the day for SPY.
Yeah.
1440, and then 15 half. Mark likes 20. That would be up here.
Me too. I really like 20.
Actually, this is 1790, 18. But yeah,
You're feeling kind of
definitely-
tweenerish, right, Alicia? A little like it's sort of, it was looking good to break out, and now it's.
now
Back
it
in the
might
box
just be,
range.
it might just be the whole market's kind of going south, right? So
Right.
it could be a victim of that. You also have your RSI and your MACD rolling negative. So maybe you wait till the market stabilizes to hop in. But overall, I'm with Mark. I think it's crazy this thing is trading 12 and Wings is trading 380.
I know, I don't get it, but I haven't overloaded the boat on it, but yeah, I'd like to buy a little more of it, but I've been kind of sitting around here. Oh, I like your analysis though, Alicia. It has at least gotten to a new level, so which is recent.
Yeah.
All right, and now
Yes, it has.
with Andrew looking at the implied volatility, what do you see, Andrew? What do you see here, Andrew?
All right, Mr. Sebastian. It's one of those things where it's a $12 stock. Okay, so you got to be realistic there with a $12 stock. Option prices are in the so you look at well, Andrew, that volatility is not. So this is like 90 day, 120 day. You're like, well, Andrew, that volatility is not a 1 year low. Well, let's take a look at some of the like a little longer, like 2 years, right? So when the stock was kind of sitting here around 16, you had about a 30 vol. Now with the stock like at a lower price, like a 40, 45 vol is still, it's not that expensive. Let's just say that. It's just not that expensive. So when you look at this, you're like, okay, what kind of a trade? So I think I would like buy a little duration, mostly because of this, the stock is kind of in between. And I would look at maybe like a diagonal spread or just buying some like long-term calls, December, January, February. Like, so let's just look at a couple of alternatives. And then I could see maybe financing it with selling a put if you don't get any activity. So like some kind of a diagonal spread, like one of Mark's, like buying the 12s or buying the 10s, selling the 12 and a half, something like that. There's not a ton to do with the options though. That's kind of one of the problems. Like,
Yeah.
so like the 12 and a half calls for $1.30 in January just don't seem like a lot of money to me. Like sometimes it's like they're $1.30. You got 4 months to go. The volatility's near the bottom. Like I would think you would get at least one opportunity to sell something
Yeah.
against those calls in 4 months or 5 months. So that's from a vol point of view, I'd say it's pretty low. I just buy some 12 and a half calls and and see if we get a little pickup and take this little pullback in the stock as a little win.
Yeah, and if the stock drops, you sell a put. Andrew, I like
sell
that. The other
10s.
idea I had was like if you want to go a little further out, you could buy the February 14 calls. Those are 90 cents.
And look at where those things. Okay, I'll bet you. Let's see the February 14th. Now, where were they? A couple of. Let's see here. Right, and they were, and they were just like up at like 120, whatever. So it won't take much in a $12 stock at 45 volatility. It takes so little to make things go pop.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say there is you want to just be mindful of that.
You want to be mindful. Would you want to be demure as well?
I don't know if I do demure very well.
Yeah.
But I like the vol. It's very low vol. It's very.
At least you got that joke. I'm not sure Andrew did. So
I didn't.
like
I clearly like me
right
getting
now.
jokes now. It's like my brain is just failing. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Lauren had to do like a whole big blonde hair on demure and mindfulness, which is like the big, or somebody, it was like a campaign she did. Very funny.
It's pronounced Portillos. Isn't it Portillos in Chicago?
It's Portillos.
Yeah.
It is Italian. It is not Spanish.
Yeah.
So
Surf Dance
in
and Hogan,
Italian,
yeah.
Portillo is pronounced Portillo. In Spanish, it would be pronounced Portillo.
Yeah. It's Chicago. It's Chicago Spanish. Portillos.
Well, no, it's an actual Italian last name. So in Italian, the double L is just an L.
Oh, really? It's Italian?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it's Italian beef sandwiches. Duh. Yeah.
Oh my,
Yeah, it's not a
Andrew.
Spanish beef.
Hello.
Hey, I'm all for it. Listen,
I
I'm not taking a dig
I have never seen an Italian Portillo.
I'm not taking a dig at the torta. I'm a big fan of a good old torta, but this is an Italian beef sandwich.
Oh, Surf Dancing Hogan. So they have Italian beef sandwiches with a freaking Italian sausage in it. Surf Dancing Hogan.
The combo.
If you've never had this, the combo. It's like the greatest invention ever out of Chicago.
It is. The combo is quite possibly the most delicious thing you'll ever eat.
Better.
You got to come to the Oshpit conference, folks. I order them for everybody. You'll love it. All right. So here we have it. Andrew's idea, I like. He wants to buy the 12 and a half calls for $1.30. If you want to do something zero cost, you could sell the Feb 10 puts at 60 cents, buy the Feb 15 calls for 60 cents. That is a risk reversal. You buy the stock below 10, you buy the stock above 15. That would be your two options that we have.
Well, let's write down these ideas. Hold on for a second, real fast, because we're coming up with ideas here, right? So
yeah, and for once, the simple idea came from Andrew, and the complex idea came from Mark.
Well,
lions are laying with lambs. Cats are playing with dogs.
Oh, I know. Mayhem is everywhere. All right. So it would be buying to open. Okay, I'm going to spell it out. Buy to open.
I have some pretty good support in S&P here.
I know, but I want to try to make some money on some put spreads, Leisha. So you make the support go lower. Make it go lower.
Sorry.
I know, but this is where it bounces. 555 every time.
I got TQQ puts to close. in Delta Strike.
Yeah, buy to open one. Oh, this was the. So my idea was like the January. What was the term here? The Portillo's January 17, 12 calls. 12.5 calls. I think for $1.30. And I would be looking for a double on those at least. And then Mark has a little risk reversal. So buy to open. Again, this is just a basic size. You do what you want. And that's the Feb. What's the term in Feb here? Feb 2114 calls. And then you're selling to open. Again, if the stock falls, sell the puts. If the stock goes up, sell the calls. On Portillo. February 21, 10 puts. And I think right now you would do that trade for, let's say 60 over 90, which would be a 30-cent debit. So yeah, you could trade either way. Stock goes down, dump the puts, or you put on now as a very cheap debit, or just buy the Jan 17-12 calls. And there we go. That is our trade idea for the day. I just found a Portillo's 59 miles from here. Shane, go.
It is worth the drive.
Make a day of it.
So Surf Dancing Hogan, are you happy you got your simple and complex? We did role reversal.
Shane, where do you live? I'll come visit you and we'll go together. There is one in Arlington, Texas. They're going to build one in Austin as well very soon. If you haven't been to the one, if you live in Dallas, in the Dallas area, make it a point.
All right, I got to go and get ready for trading desk.
All right, everybody, have a great morning and a great day. So
Sandwiches
for Andrew,
for
Andrew P. Giovanazzi, the Viking of Volatility, and Alicia J. Leslie, Queen of the Candles, I'm Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. Hope you have a great, great, great trading week. Happy Tuesday.